Uh, so we touched on this a little bit earlier, is really building that muscle memory, right? If you're a sports person or a basketball person, when you go to the free throw line, you do the same routine over and over and over. Every single time you step to the free throw line, you do the same routine. And it's just building muscle memory. You don't have to think about it, you just do it. And so I think as early as possible, if our parents can help when we're really young, and then once we become a teenager and get older, we can take over, take charge of it ourselves. It just is figuring out what is your income, what are your expenses, and making sure that you put into your budget a specific amount that you want to save on a weekly basis, monthly basis, whatever it is for you, and just being consistent. And the way that we want to look at it is think of your savings as a bill. So just like you have to pay for your phone bill, you have to pay for a car note, you have to pay your rent, you have to pay for whatever it is that you have to pay for every single month. We want to think of our savings that exact same way. And I think if we can target to start saving at least 10 to 15% of every check that we get, you're in a really, really good spot to build that muscle memory. Regardless of that, wherever you are, figure out what is that number that's comfortable for you. Maybe it's a little bit less, maybe it's more, but whatever it is, figure out what is that number that's comfortable and do it every single time that you get money. Put it away, don't touch it, into your savings account and let that build. And over time, it just becomes second nature and you don't have to think about it. It's just what you do.
It's first by not getting caught up on the word budgeting or budget. It has such a restrictive tone, and I fall into this place of, nah, I don't do budgets. No, no budgets. But you also have to make sure that you are absolutely 100% taking care of your money. So I am a firm believer of a money management plan. It's laid out the exact same way, but conceptually, I'm a very conceptual person. So conceptually, it allows you to operate a little more free flowing versus saying, I can only spend $200 on eating out. Sometimes you might spend a little bit more than $200 or a little bit less, but when you put that line item in a budget and it's almost like finito, it could create some anxiety from people, not just myself. I've counseled quite a bit of people and they share that experience. But yeah, money management plan is the way I go. I do subscribe to a 50-30-20 money management plan. 50% of your earnings come from for your living essentials. 30% is flexible spending, things that might not be the same this month versus next month. A good example is obviously gas and groceries. Those are things that will fluctuate. And then 20% for your financial needs. So your savings, investing, and debt repayment.
It's simply by writing down everything that they have. So from expenses to income. So if you're a young adult and you get an allowance, you would write that on one side. If you just take a piece of paper, you'd write that on one side. And then on the other side, you'd write your list of expenses. And then from there, the biggest thing is staying organized. And like school, you have like a syllabus or you have a homework planner. The same can be applied when it comes to budget and your finances. So for me, when I was younger, I just listed everything out because that's the best way to stay organized. You have to know what's going on. And then from there, based on the strategy that you may want, there's plenty of different budget strategies that you can use. I think it's important to find one that works for you. Some of the basic ones are 50-30-20, where you allocate 50% of your income or your allowance or whatever you're getting to necessities. And then, 30-20, depending on how you look at it. Some people allow it for savings, the 30%. Some people allow that for wants, depending on your preference. And then 30, and then the remaining 20 for, if you picked wants, then it would be savings. If you pick savings for the 30%, then the 20% would be wants. There's zero-based income budget. There's the envelope method. There's so many different strategies, and I'm sure you guys will go through it in future learnings. But from the standpoint of budget, the most important thing is to list everything out so you have a clear understanding of what's coming in and what's coming out.